When she finally said that he mattered more than I ever did, I didn't explode. No shouting, no tears, not even a tremor. I just stood there, watching the woman who once whispered her deepest dreams into my chest now defend another man, as if her entire soul depended on it. "Apologize to him," she demanded, "or we're done." Something inside me shifted, not in anger but in surrender. A strange, unnerving calm spread through me. The kind that comes when you've been burned too long to still feel the flame. 3 years married. 6 years of shared mornings, long drives, and quiet nights. We had built something together, fragile but ours. Her laughter used to sound like home. I trusted it. I trusted her. Until he appeared, the closest friend. The man whose hand lingered too long on her back, whose eyes stayed on her lips when she spoke. At first I brushed off the unease. I refused to become that jealous husband who turned love into suspicion. But respect has boundaries, and he crossed them one after another. It wasn't one grand act of betrayal, it was a slow bleed. 1,000 tiny cuts. The laptop that slammed shut when I entered the room. The message I glimpsed once. "You're my safe place forever." The new phone lock. The matching bracelets. A hotel bill she waved off as a clerical mistake. I said nothing. I bottled it all up until the bitterness felt medicinal, something I could live with as long as I named it. The end came during an argument that started like all the others, small, forgettable, until I finally confronted him. He didn't deny it. He just smirked, that smug, knowing smirk, and said nothing. His silence told me everything. She stood beside him, eyes steady, no hesitation. That was the moment I knew. I walked out, left the house, the keys, everything I'd poured myself into. For 4 days I gave her nothing. No replies. No explanations. Just silence. And silence, I learned, is louder than rage. She called. She cried outside my door. I let her voice fade into the night. Then I started digging. A friend at her bank told me she'd opened a private account 6 months ago, quietly siphoning money. $1,800 little by little. She was preparing her escape. She just never thought I'd be the one to leave first. I stayed quiet while she spun stories to our friends, painting me as paranoid, controlling, unstable. I let them believe her. Their misplaced sympathy became my camouflage. In that stillness I found purpose. Jason, that was his name. A realtor, all charm and poison. I knew him long before she did. Years ago he tried to undercut me in a property deal. Forged documents that nearly cost me everything. I'd exposed him back then discreetly, and the board revoked his license. He never knew who had done it. Now he was back, sitting in my kitchen, sharing my wife's laughter. This wasn't just betrayal. It was history repeating itself with interest. The first step was leverage. Her secret bank account was child's play to access. Her password, Melody04, predictable as ever. I took screenshots of every transaction, every message, every lie, and labeled the folder Loyalty Star. Then I turned to him. A lawyer friend mentioned 2 of Jason's recent deals were edging toward fraud. I slipped anonymous tips to the board, then pretended to be a client and got him to send falsified listings. Every recorded word was another nail in his coffin. I made sure the right people received them. By the 4th day she was unraveling. She showed up at my door again. Eyes red, voice trembling. I let her in. I listened. I even held her hand. When she finished I smiled, told her I forgave her, and handed her the file. She opened it, saw the transfers, the messages, the evidence. Her face drained of color. I told her I wouldn't ruin her. Not if she walked away quietly. No alimony. No drama. Just leave. She nodded, broken, and walked out without a word. Then came Jason. He called me soon after, spitting curses and threats. I agreed to meet. At a diner under the dull hum of neon lights, I slid a flash drive across the table. 12 victims, I said. Forgery. Fraud. Every file on there proves it. His arrogance faltered for the first time. When this hits, I added, leaning closer, you'll be lucky to sell cheap trinkets on the street. He tried to talk tough, but I wasn't finished. And by the way, I said quietly, she was never yours. You were just the flame she used to burn herself down. I stood up and walked out, never looking back. 6 months later, she's living with her sister. Jason's license is gone again. They don't speak anymore. People ask me how I stay so calm, why I'm not angry. But vengeance doesn't come from anger. It comes from clarity. And mine arrived the moment she said he was worth more. She was right in her own way. To her he was more. More excitement, more danger, more ruin.